Hi Ellie, this is the thing I built for Jethro. This is just a room to show you the controls. Um, right, it's got the fourth rail bridge, which I'm not going to look at yet. We're going to head over to the street light thing. This is a Simon-like kind of game. Um, Here's one of the songs being triggered, yeah? This is Frere Jacques, and then we go around the corner and we go into Ring a Ring of Roses. Over this way, when we actually go into this object, it behaves like a Simon, so if you copy the actions, you will get through the entire song. You'll notice it has well done prompts. It also has oh dear prompts. That was kind of inspired a little bit by Thomas, which he's a big fan of. There's lots of times when you get the oh dear. This one's a free range, I don't know what to call it, street light keyboard. Right, onto the dominoes. Right, you walk around, you leave a trail of dominoes behind you, and when you press space or bang into something, you trigger it. These strange tunnels change your colour and announce the colours. The educational side of this game is not particularly because I am an educator. It's because Jethro likes educational toys. He's got lots of strange laptops that do alphabets, colours, shapes. And of course we both know he watches YouTube videos, big long ones about colours, stuff like that. And he's got a bit of a thing for dominoes. This one is very simple to understand but quite hard to use. It just involves quite a lot of skill. I quite like that with Jethro. He actually does have quite a lot of skill. When I say a lot of skill, it's quite hard to get it up and down the bridges, and sometimes you can get unlucky. I mean, a domino hits the wrong object and they don't all fall down. There's an irritating pause at the end, which I've skipped. This is a bubble making machine. That's all it is. A bubble making machine. It's actually quite cool, actually. Windmills. I never really kind of go to town showing the windmills because they don't really do anything other than be windmills. Jethro likes windmills.
Why?
An alphabet toy. You'll recognise the learning concepts in this. A free range, you can just run around, but if you stand on this, you're asked to find a random letter. It's actually quite hard again. I couldn't find G. There's G.
G. Well done.
Here we go. I'm going to go up to show you that you can also get it wrong.
L. Oh dear. Can
You know, not exactly. Obviously, there's no cruel, heinous punishments in this game.
Why?
You just get an oh dear. Hetty's in this. As I said, this was built for Jethro. It is Jethro hedonism. So Jethro's got a thing about Henry and Hetty. Hetty follows you around and waves. It would be quite nice if she talked. It would also be quite nice if she was involved in the games, but that's quite complex for me to do. The fourth rail bridge. I said the fourth rail bridge was in it, and here it is. It's obviously not an amazing model. It's just what I could come up with in the time. It's got two Thomases on it, which he likes. He spends a lot of time when he plays with this just hovering around the bridge, in all honesty. He likes this also. A bit fiddly to get onto. but you know, this really, it definitely grabbed him for a few moments, although not as much as the Helter Skelter we're looking at right now. That one's really vomit inducing, and that really appeals to him. What else to say about the Helter Skelter and the fairground ride? We'll see them in a minute. This is a boulder. There's an episode of Thomas with a boulder in it. It's really quite sinister, the episode, and so is my boulder. And in fact, the boulder has a game. Just knocking things over. Skittles with whistles and bells. Again, this time, those shapes, those tunnels represent shapes, and the shapes fix themselves if you go through the tunnel. Partly to make the game long, partly also because it's quite nice to get something slightly obtuse, but another way of getting them to interact with shapes. Sometimes these fall over at the moment just by themselves, which is really annoying, but hey. Yes, knocking things over. Skittles. I don't actually have the word skittle in there. This is more shapes. I think you'll relate to this one. I know you spent a lot of time throwing balls downstairs. And, you know, there is that whole anarchy side, definitely, to Jethro. It's quite nice. I think in a moment I point the camera up so you get a slightly better view of it, because it is just quite crazy. And very like some of the videos that Jethro watches. I cut to here because I wanted to show you could kind of fly. Jethro was getting annoyed with jumping, so I put flying in it. And it's a fairly kind of odd, plodding fly, but he likes it. Here is the Helter Skelter. This actually isn't as vomiting inducing as it should be. It's a little bit broken. Normally the camera spins with you as you go down on the mat, but it's still fairly intense, and certainly when the camera spins with the mat, it is really this actually works in a VR headset, and that takes vomit inducing to new levels, particularly if somebody else has got the controls. This is the final object. This actually works, but it doesn't work right now. It's a marble run, and you can actually play as a marble. And that's it.